Look around you. This city, this sprawling metropolis of steel and glass, doesn't just sleep, it remembers. We walk its streets, convinced we are the pinnacle of creation, the masters of our own invention. But what if I told you that our cities are not new? What if they are ghost stories, written on a manuscript where the ink of the past still bleeds through? My name is Adrian Corvus, and I'm an urban archaeologist. I don't dig for bones, I dig for ideas. And tonight, I want to show you the whispers of lost civilizations, echoing in the heart of our modern world. Our journey begins deep underground, in the belly of the beast. The subway system, the screech of the train, the arched tile ceilings. It feels modern, right? But close your eyes. You're not in the 21st century anymore. You're in ancient Rome, inside the Cloaca Maxima, the greatest sewer. Over 2,500 years ago, the Romans understood a fundamental truth. For a city to rise, it must first learn to deal with its own waste, the complex network of pipes and tunnels beneath your feet. They are the veins of a beast born in antiquity. Now, let's come up for air. Look down this street, this perfectly straight line cutting through the chaos, the grid. We credit modern planners for this design, but its DNA is thousands of years older. We need to travel back to 2600 BC, to the Indus Valley and the city of Mohenjo. While much of the world was still living in circular huts, the Harappan civilization was laying out streets at perfect right angles. They understood that a grid wasn't just for organization, it was for control. It was the imposition of human will upon the earth. So every time you feel that wind tunnel effect on a city avenue, you're feeling a breeze that first blew through ancient Pakistan, and later the streets of Miletus in ancient Greece, where Hippodamus, the father of urban planning, perfected the concept. His ghost walks these streets with us. If the grid is the city's skeleton, then water is its blood. Look at that fountain, that park. Where does all that water come from? Our journey takes us to the jungles of Guatemala, to the Mayan city of Tikal. Built without a single river or lake nearby, the Maya became masters of hydraulic engineering. They transformed their city plazas into giant funnels, collecting rainwater in massive underground reservoirs. They knew that a city dies the moment it goes thirsty. Now, look up at the skyscrapers. They're essentially vertical cities, needing water pumped hundreds of feet into the air. This technology traces its roots directly to the Roman aqueducts and the incredible inverted siphons of Pergamum. Even that humble water tower on a rooftop is a descendant of the majestic Basilica cistern in Constantinople, which was practically a temple dedicated to water. We've kept the function, but we've lost the reverence. We drink from the cups of ghosts. And speaking of skyscrapers, why do we build so high? Is it just economics or a lack of space? I think it's something deeper. Hubris. As I stand here, in the reflection of these glass towers, I see the faint silhouette of another structure. The Ziggurat of Sumer. The ancient Sumerians built artificial mountains of mud brick, not for office space, but to get closer to their gods. They wanted to look divinity in the eye. The modern skyscraper is the secular grandchild of the ziggurat and the legendary Tower of Babel. The irony is, the Bible warns that building a tower to heaven leads to a confusion of languages. Here, in a city with hundreds of languages spoken every day, we've finally built it not as one tower, but as a forest of them, and the very material that lets us build this high. Roman concrete. The recipe for this miracle substance was lost for over 1,000 years. It was only when we relearned how to mix volcanic ash and lime that our cities could begin their ascent once more. We stand on the shoulders of giants, all while pretending we learned to fly on our own. But a city isn't just about what you see. It's also about what you hear. I'm standing in a modern public plaza, and honestly, the acoustics are terrible. The traffic noise drowns everything out. It makes me long for the ancient Greek theater at Epidaurus. It was an acoustic miracle. You could drop a coin on the stage, and someone in the very back row, 14,000 seats away, could hear it clear as day. No microphones, no speakers. They used precisely angled limestone seats to filter out background noise and amplify the human voice. We, with all our smart technology, have made our cities acoustically stupid. In our rush for digital amplification, we've made our architecture deaf. So, here we are, at the edge of the water, the city lights dazzling behind us. It feels permanent, invincible. But these whispers from the past, they aren't just memories, they're warnings. Think of the great city of Angkor. In the 12th century, it was the largest pre-industrial city in the world, a hydraulic masterpiece. And then, it was gone. A changing climate and a failure to maintain their complex systems led to its collapse. The jungles swallowed it whole in less than a century. I look at our modern cities, and I see the aging tunnels, the crumbling infrastructure, the rising sea levels. One see the same fragility. The grid of Mohenjo-daro is empty. The Roman aqueducts are broken arches. And fields. Civilizations don't die with a bang. They die from a slow, grinding failure of maintenance. The city is a conversation between the past and the future. We've perfected the grid, the pipe, and the tower. All gifts from those who came before us. But we haven't yet solved the final riddle. How to make it last? As I look at this skyline, I imagine it differently. I see vines crawling up the buildings, water reclaiming the streets. I'm not being a pessimist. I'm being a historian. This beautiful, terrifying, temporary machine hums around us. And if you listen closely, beneath the roar of the traffic, you can hear the ancient stones whispering their most important lesson. Build well, for you, too, will be a whisper one day. Thanks for watching. If you found yourself listening for the whispers, hit that subscribe button and join our journey into the echoes of the past.